X-Men 97, episode 10, the season finale. Previously on X-Men is said by Magneto. In the intro, we see Professor X and Magneto in the bar talking. They mention it in the show a couple of times. We also see Professor X trying to read the Hellfire Club mind, but it gets blocked out. This is the longest episode of the season. It's 43 minutes. Picks up where episode 9 left off. After Magneto took out Wolverine's adamantium, Professor X goes into his mind. He goes in there first to reason with him, like, yo, turn the power back on and, we'll deal with everything. And Magneto's like, nah, this is what it is. So he goes in and it takes over his mind. And I think this was the best Professor X we've gotten, not only in this season, but in previous seasons, because Professor X is kind of whack and he be doing some whack stuff. So he does take over his mind and he puts the power back on, which it helps a lot of people, but it also brings back the Prime Sentinels and they wake up again. And that's where we get so many cameos. Like, the previous cameos were cool, but now we see Daredevil, we see Cloak and Dagger, Cap and Iron Man are talking with the president because they're trying to get the Magneto protocols sent up. And the Iron Man that we see is the same animation from the Iron Man animated cartoon and the Spider-Man cartoon, because he makes a couple appearances there. Black Panther shows up, and he was in a previous episode of X-Men, but it was just like a camera pan, and you see him. Like, oh, I know that guy. But this one, he actually talks, he fights. We see a Okoye. So it was just like really dope seeing the other characters, to let them know, like, yeah, there's other people here. So Bastion is still down there causing havoc. He, at some point, transforms. He takes, like, Cable's arm and transforms into something different, and he wants to go up to Asteroid M to blow it up and have it come down and crash on the Earth, because it's a large asteroid. Phoenix comes out at some point, and I knew that was going to happen because we kept seeing Phoenix in a lot of the intros, just different incarnations of her. So she came out briefly, did her thing, which was cool to see that it wasn't like a long process of taking over Jean, but dope stuff. The X-Men were back together, working together after everything with Magneto. They're taking care of Professor X, Magneto, Wolverine. Cyclops says to Wolverine, don't let her down, referring to Jean, which I thought was pretty cool. And he told him to do what he does best, heal. And when they come across Bastion, they are back together again, fighting, everybody. Rogue, just remembering Gambit. Sunspot is actually doing stuff. Jubilee actually does a little bit more than her sparkles. She does, evolve her powers a little bit. But it was good seeing the team fight together against Bastion. But the way the show just ended, it was like, this is how you end a season. This is freaking dope. And I believe this is the first episode in this particular season that ends with "to be continued." Previous seasons, they used to do it all the time because there were a lot of part 1, part 2s, and they used to always end with "to be continued." This is the first episode that ends like that. And there is a mid-credit scene, so don't turn it off immediately when, the credits start rolling. The show is dope. This season finale was dope. I can't wait to see what they do with season 2, because they've never done anything like this for the X-Men animated series. Usually, even with the season finales in this particular show, things were resolved, and not. It's really chaotic right now, where everybody is in the placement of the X-Men. So I'm looking forward to season 2. This X-Men 97 is incredible. I hope you've been watching. I know a lot of people are waiting to binge. Go binge. But those are just my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Deuces.